This will sound very strange, but the solar eclipse that went over Europe at the beginning of World War I in 1914, the blood moon lunar eclipse in 1949, and the great sign in heaven that is described in the book of Revelation in the Bible in chapter 12 that was fulfilled in the night sky in 2017 is a prophecy that is predicting the precise date that the historic barge that has been stuck on the rocks of the Niagara River for over 100 years, since the year of the Spanish flu pandemic, will finally break free and crash over Niagara Falls on July 26, 2022. When this happens, this will be the big end times sign that is communicating that the end times Great Tribulation judgment period is beginning now. God placed this barge on the Niagara River during World War I and the Spanish flu pandemic as a set alarm clock, and the purpose of this prediction is to prove this. Besides what I am about to explain, the proof that these predictions were made ahead of time is the date that YouTube says this video was posted, and videos can't be edited once they are posted. Additionally, what documents that these predictions were made ahead of time are these emails that are timestamped by Google, as well as these PDF documents that were created by a company named Forensic Notes. If you are skeptical, email me and I will forward these to you. As you can see, this email was sent on July 8, 2021. It was known since last July of 2021 that this historic barge would break free and crash over the Canadian side of Niagara Falls on specifically July 26, 2022. In fact, prior to Canada Day, which is Canada's national holiday, on July 1st, 2021, I knew that the barge would either crash over the falls on that day or 390 days later on July 26, 2022. The reason why God uses 390 days is because in Strong's Greek New Testament Concordance, the 390th word is the word for return, a word that the Apostle James used when he quoted Amos 9:11 regarding the Lord returning to rebuild his temple. Also, 390 days is a very prophetic number of days from the very important prophecy regarding judgment on the nation in Ezekiel chapter 4. And this is why God uses 390 days connections to symbolize the return, the second coming of Lord Jesus Christ. But there is much, much more, of course, to how I knew even back then that July 26th would be the day, some of which I will explain in this very important and profound video. After the barge crashes over Niagara Falls on July 26th, I will leave a link in the description box below to a news article that will confirm that indeed the barge crashed over the falls on this date. When his disciples asked him for the signs of his return, Jesus replied with, quote, "You will hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you are not alarmed, for this must take place, but the end is not yet. For nation will rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All these are but the beginning of the birth pains." This beginning of the birth pains is clearly the period of World War I. World War I ended the 500-year rule of the Ottoman Empire over the Palestine area and began the British Mandate for Palestine, which led to the Balfour Declaration declaring that Palestine be a homeland for the Jewish people, allowing Jewish immigration to Palestine. This is arguably a very symbolic beginning of the restoration of Israel in the 20th century, and it coinciding with World War I, which clearly fits the description of wars and rumors of wars, confirms that this is the beginning of the birth pains that Jesus was speaking about. World War I, which also led to World War II, was a definite nation will rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. World War I ended precisely on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, and it ended precisely 11,111 days before the first of the prophetic lunar eclipses of the prophetic blood moon tetrad that coincided with the official rebirth of Israel in 1948. With this, God was pointing to Isaiah 11:11. In that day, the Lord will extend his hand yet a second time to recover the remnant that remains of his people. He will raise a signal for the nations and will assemble the banished of Israel and gather the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. The restoration of Israel in the 20th century is the big signal, prophetic sign that the age is closing and the second coming of Lord Jesus Christ is soon. This historic barge that involves the most dramatic rescue in the history of Niagara Falls, at the time that it got stuck before almost going over the falls, got stuck on the rocks of the Niagara River in 1918, the year of the Spanish flu pandemic during World War I. God placed this barge on the Niagara River as a timer. It is like a set alarm clock. When this barge crashes over Niagara Falls, it will be the symbolic alarm going off that now is the time of the beginning of the end times Great Tribulation period. This barge is in a way like a wound-up spring ready to uncoil itself. It is sitting on the rocks of the Niagara River, ready to go over the falls as a signal of the beginning of judgment. When this barge crashes over Niagara Falls, it will be the massive prophetic sign that judgment is beginning. In fact, I believe that the main purpose for the existence of Niagara Falls is to demonstrate this most important prophetic sign. Some social media sites have a maximum length for videos that can be posted, and so I need to cut this video into 2 parts. Click on the link to watch the remainder of this video. You can also find this link in the description box below this video. Make sure you watch the remainder of this extremely important video that is posted on a different channel than the one you are watching now. The link to the rest of this video is in the description box below this video. Hopefully you at least found this introduction video to be interesting, and if so, please leave a like and upvote the video, and please consider sharing the video.